In 2023, the world of first-person shooters is set to be taken to the next level, with a multitude of new and highly anticipated games on the horizon. But with so many options, where do you even begin? In this video, we count down the top 8 FPS games of 2023 that you won't want to miss. From cutting-edge graphics to innovative gameplay, these titles are guaranteed to bring the heat and keep you on the edge of your seat. So grab your controller, sit back, and get ready to take a look at the future of first-person shooters. On number 8, we have Escape from Tarkov. Do you like misery? Do you like battles that take as much thinking as they do shooting? Escape from Tarkov brings together all of the finer, greater features of the FPS genre. Battlestate Games released the intense survival shooter as a beta in 2017 and has been regularly improving it with new features since then. Players are entrusted with infiltrating several zones of Tarkov, a fictitious territory in Russia, to perform objectives, acquire important goods, and withdraw before the timer runs out. This means battling against other players as well as a variety of NPC groups, and if you die in the raid, you'll lose everything you brought with you. The degree of care that goes into every single part of the beta is what places Escape from Tarkov on our list. The game has an extensive weapons modification system that allows you to tweak every aspect of your gun before bringing it into a raid, and the in-depth ballistics system requires you to think about your loadout down to the exact bullet. It's a high learning curve, but the attention to detail pays off in furious firefights that might cost you everything. Few games succeed in making every second of conflict seem important, but Escape from Tarkov assures that you'll never feel more alive while you strive to keep it that way. On number 7, we have Valorant. Valorant is difficult to surpass as an FPS game worth learning in 2022. A team-based game that is so colorfully vivid that you'll feel like you're bursting off the pages of a comic book, but also necessitates actual ingenuity. Consider it similar to American football, however, instead of working together to put a pigskin behind the other team's goalposts, you must plant or defuse a bomb behind enemy lines, depending on whether your team is attacking or defending. It has the same fundamental idea as Counter-Strike, but it's so much more with enough magic and sci-fi-like weapons to match the MCU. Each agent has a distinct set of talents and powers that represent their strength on the map, and the more time you spend playing the game, the more probable it is that you will discover a character whose skills match your own. There aren't many shooters that are as sleek and rewarding as this one. On number 6, we have Titanfall 2. Before the former Call of Duty developers at Respawn Entertainment shocked everyone with their wildly popular battle royale game Apex Legends, they attempted to break into the FPS space with Titanfall, a futuristic shooter in which players took control of highly acrobatic, wall-running pilots and their Titans' gigantic combat mechs capable of stomping aforementioned pilots beneath their humongous heels. Titanfall was well received, but the series truly found its stride with the release of Titanfall 2 in 2016. So how did the follow-up to the 2014 sleeper success become one of the finest first-person shooters of the previous generation? Simply stated, it iterated and perfected what made the previous game's multiplayer distinctive frenetic boots-on-the-ground parkour action, and cool-as-hell huge robots plummeting from orbit to beat the crap out of each other. It was rare to find FPS games that weren't boilerplate, contemporary military apologies like Call of Duty at the time, so Titanfall 2's acrobatic, sci-fi take on the genre seemed like a breath of new air. Titanfall 2 also has a surprisingly enjoyable and thought-provoking single-player campaign. At its heart, it's a straightforward story about a man and his connection with his intelligent battle robot. While the plot beats may not make an impact, the superb level design will. Not only is Effect and Cause one of the best single-player FPS levels of all time, but the Smart Pistol's late-game reappearance is also a fantastic scene that is well worth your time. On number 5, we have Apex Legends. Apex Legends was released in 2019 by Respawn Entertainment and EA after a clandestine development process. EA purposefully avoided publicizing the game in order to avoid enraging Titanfall fans who were anticipating the third entry in the series, as well as gamers who were tired of free-to-play live service products replete with loot boxes. They didn't have to worry about anything in the end since Apex was a huge success. The Titanfall developers added some interesting twists to the standard battle royale formula, such as the inclusion of hero characters with special abilities and distinct personalities, an easy-to-use contextual ping communication system that simplifies playing with randoms, and the fast-paced, arcadey gunplay that made the Titanfall games so enjoyable. While you can't sprint on walls, the mobility concept is simple, quick, and evocative of Apex's forebears. Apex is a terrific location to land if you want a battle royale experience that isn't too realistic and don't want to play Fortnite. On number 4, we have Call of Duty Warzone. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 is an excellent shooter with a compelling narrative and a strong multiplayer component. The shootouts are fantastic, and it's a joy to play. The revised perks system and tweaks to the gunsmith mode demonstrate that Infinity Ward and the other Modern Warfare 2 devs still understand what makes Call of Duty tick, and it's a joy to see them work. The fact that none of the firearms are actual, remain versions strongly influenced by existent weapons is a major setback. The absence of fan-favorite MP5 will make some cringe, yet it is there under a different name. If you get acclimated to Modern Warfare 2's colorful murder playground, you'll be rewarded with some terrific clean gunfights and utter multiplayer hijinks. On number 3, we have Doom Eternal. If the goal of id Software's Doom 2016 was to make players feel like an unstoppable force ripping and tearing through swarms of demonic hellspawn, Doom Eternal's goal is to channel that devastation into a laser-focused flowchart of precision death-dealing. The super shotgun, chain gun, and rocket launcher all return, but instead of merely being diverse ways to kill demons, each weapon in Doom Eternal is meant to be exceptionally powerful at one or two specific tasks. The super shotgun, for example, may be modified with a grappling hook attachment to shorten the distance between the player and adversaries, whilst the heavy cannon can be utilized to pick out distant enemies or weak places on larger villains. Because of the tool for every job concept, as well as the requirement to continually replenish health and ammunition reserves through the harsh glory kill melee system and chainsaw attacks, players will have to make split-second judgments about the best method to tackle each situation. You won't be able to use your preferred weapon for lengthy periods of time if that's part of the macabre charm. It would be a travesty to discuss any of the recent Doom games without noting their disgustingly hard, gent, industrial, and thrash-inspired soundtracks. Even the most docile gamers will struggle to prevent their heads from pounding during the songs that ooze sheer ferocity throughout the game's combat-heavy arena parts. Doom Eternal is a sinfully wonderful time and definitely worth playing thanks to its furious action, exaggerated brutality, and highly nasty music. On number 2, we have Overwatch 2. If you like, you may compare it to Team Fortress 2 or League of Legends. Overwatch 2 has enough in common with both to share part of their attraction, but it is so distinct that it will take players months to discover its greatest character combinations. Some may believe that this FPS is not a real sequel, as we said in our Overwatch 2 review, but rather Overwatch 1.5 instead. The tweak to 5.5 and the inclusion of roll lock from the start contribute to the greatest version of Overwatch ever. Players spend less time shooting at shields and more time assaulting the goal when the number of tanks on each squad is reduced. Overwatch League has also helped to cement the game's esports promise. Don't worry if you're not into 8-hour practice sessions, half the fun is the pick up and play aspect, which solidifies Overwatch 2 as one of the finest PC FPS games. If this is your first time playing Overwatch, our Overwatch 2 tier list should give you a clear idea of who is currently OP and who is just not worth your time. On number 1, we have Counter-Strike: Global Offensive. For the first time, delving into the world of Counter-Strike. Global Offensive is like jumping into a contemporary combat meat grinder. Players that have been roaming variations of these maps for more than a decade will confront you. You will be killed by snipers who have tens of thousands of kills on their scout. You will be punished by players who can repeat CSGO console orders in their sleep, and you will be forced to sit out the remainder of the round as you regret your error. So, why would you play Counter-Strike: Global Offensive? Because climbing to the top of the leaderboards is a prize achieved through patience, talent, and muscle memory. It also offers some of the greatest level design in the industry. There's a reason why you can still find servers running old maps like Dust 2 day in and day out. It's partly because frequent CSGO upgrades keep the shooter fresh. Thank you for joining us on this countdown of the top 8 FPS games of 2023. We hope this video has given you some ideas of which games to add to your must-play list. Whether you're a fan of fast-paced action or prefer to take your time and strategize, these games are sure to deliver an unforgettable experience. Don't forget to leave a like and comment if you enjoyed this video, and let us know which FPS games you're most excited to play in 2023. And as always, happy gaming. And as always, happy